Dan, let me go to you first because I know you like this Reds team, especially in a shortened season.
I do a lot, Fran. I love their offseason. Bringing this guy in, Castellanos, along with Mike Moustakas, who can play just about everywhere. But I think when I look at this Reds team, they're one of the few teams in the National League that I think the DH can help them. They can use Moustakas. They can use Nick Castellanos. They have several different options. They could use Joey Votto. They can use that DH first base position and rotate it. They're adaptable to this, and I think it's going to suit the Reds well.
I'd like to see some of these teams in their inter-squad games give us a little bit more contrast than just the white pants. All right? Because the red tops are red tops. It's killing me a little bit. Every team's doing it. Did I just sidetrack you in this whole conversation? Did I just derail you?
No, we're all good.
I'm going to stay in the same division, though.
Okay.
I'd like to go with the Chicago Cubbies right there.
Okay.
Because they've done an awful lot over the years talking about Kyle Schwarber. And when he came up, he was hitting home runs. We saw what he did in their World Series run, which was remarkable to miss that much time and then put some at-bats together. I think this could be just a one-man DH show when it comes to the Chicago Cubs. And I think this dude might find some comfort. I don't think the DH is going to go bye-bye in 2021. My personal thoughts in the National League.
You think it's here to stay?
But this puts, in my opinion, after this year, 30 teams available for Schwarber to play at. And I think if this dude just settled into the DH role and just worried about that, not worried about everything else, man's going to hit 40 bombs.
You know what amazes me, Fran, is I look at two positions. One's trending upwards, the DH. One going extinct is like a specialist guy into the bullpen.
Right.
So it's a land of opportunities for a hitter, but for some specialized pitchers, it could be the beginning of an end for a guy like Jerry Blevins, used to be with the Mets, a guy that could come in, get a tough lefty out. I still think that the good teams, the teams that really believe that they're going to be in it in August and September in a normal season, you're still going to see some specialty guys because that's a needed commodity for a good team.
And you're talking about that new rule as a reliever, you got to come in and face 3 batters unless it's the end of an inning.
And it's gonna be interesting for me to see how managers use this. And when you go to the end of spring training camp and you have 2 lefties, do you keep the one that you know in a situation can get both guys out, or do you keep the one that, boy, this guy is better at getting lefties out, and I'm going to roll the dice, maybe have a base open and walk a hitter or two? It's going to be interesting to see how they use.
You know what? I like that thought because I'm sitting there thinking, I don't think this 3-batter minimum is going to come into play as much as we initially, or as I initially thought. I won't put any other words in anybody else's mouth. And I also think there's going to be an awful lot of times that lefty specialist might actually be more valuable because there's 2 outs. There's 2 guys on. And there's the lefty coming up to home plate. And are you going to be that manager that rolls that dice and says, yes, I got the guy that's going to absolutely get this dude out? Because if he gets him out, that's the end of the inning.
Right.
And you're going to the pen for the next inning.
Right.
So maybe, just maybe, that left-handed specialist, that true left-handed specialist, he might have a little bit more clout than we think.
Back to the DH, the Mets in the National League. Yoenis Cespedes is a popular player that a lot of people, Bill, are saying that this is going to help him. Cespedes is only, since he signed that juicy $110 million deal, he's literally only played about a quarter of the number of games that he could have played for the Mets.
So if you think he could swing the bat a little bit and you might be able to get some of that contract out of him, that might be a pretty good pull right there. Look, I don't think you need to mess with Alonso much. Play him at first base. We got 60 games coming up. As Dan talked about earlier, these guys are in great shape. I'm not so sure why, with all the dietitians, the sleep therapists, the more off days, why somebody can't play 162. But you got 60 games coming up, and I think Alonso, this dude wants to play. He's going to be a force in the lineup for you every single day. Don't even mess with him on the DH board. Let him play first base and do his thing.